Hello, History Day teachers. I am coming with a couple of big announcements and just wanted to fill you in on a few things. First of all, here is a bit.ly address for the 2022 Coastal Regional registration. This can also be found at the Coast Carolina University History Department homepage. The dates are a little off. Last I checked, it still has the 2021 dates for the competition. This year, after deliberating with the other regional coordinators and finding out that the National History Day competition at the national level has gone virtual, we have decided that we're going to go virtual for this competition this year as well. There's many different reasons for this, and I know this is kind of late in the game, but we feel for the health and safety of everybody involved that going virtual is going to be helpful. Also, it's going to help prepare for those students to go to the state and national level competitions virtually. And I know that this is kind of a quick transition, but hopefully we do have quite a few days until that transition needs to be finalized. For this purpose, when you go to the National History Day registration page, you will have until February 25th to finish the registration. Registration will open on January 24th, so you'll have a month to put those registration pieces in. I am asking this year that you please be selective with the projects that you advance to the competition. I know in the past, and we are still going to keep the restrictions, and if you feel you have 20 projects that should advance, or the different chart that we have based on the number of projects that were created, we're still going to abide by that. But I do want to let you know that judges are a little bit hard to come by this year. So I want to make sure that projects that are competition ready are coming to the competition, and not just everybody because you have space to fill. I'm going to be limiting my projects that I send for this very reason as a teacher. Okay, so having said that, we do want to prepare for the competition, and we want to make sure that we're prepared virtually. In the email that I'm going to send with this, I am going to provide all the documents I'm going to show you here in just a second. But please remember, we're using the ZFair system. So this bit.ly address or the Coast Carolina homepage will take you to ZFairs, and you will finish the registration process there. You're also going to be uploading all of the documents into the ZFair system when they register. So we'll make sure that if they're doing an exhibit, they'll have an opportunity to upload their documents. If they're doing a performance, there's going to be a companion document and a video. The paper, everything's going to be combined into one. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So first of all, remember that we have several categories that this is going to be a little bit awkward for. Paper is pretty straightforward. We're just going to upload all the documents. The websites, we're going to have everything's going to be on the website. So those two project categories, we don't really have to worry too much about. So that gives us the exhibits to think about, performances, and documentaries. Documentaries, we're going to have the file submission for the video, as well as the documents. So that gets us to the exhibits and the performances, which are really the ones that are difficult with the videos. So I am going to submit this document with you as well. These are our performance guidelines from last year. We're going to be using the similar format. So we do want to make sure that everybody's being safe. If the students have already made a performance where they're going to be interacting with each other, we do ask that they are going to be safe in their practices, following current guidelines. Last year, we were very separated. This year, make sure we're following the guidelines at the school level as they record. We do want to make sure that they have a recording that is a single shot camera. This is not a documentary where we want to have, where there's going to be multiple cuts. It's one recording from the perspective of the audience on the whole stage. We are also going to ask that they complete the companion document. Now, what is the companion document? It is this thing right here. I am going to include this in the document in your file folder as well. This is the companion worksheet. They should download this. They're going to include all of this information. This is going to take the place of all of those questions that they would get asked by the judges, and it's going to help explain some of the more subtle things that might not show up on camera. So we're going to have sort of an overall scenario, They should explain who the characters are in the performance. They should have the backgrounds. Now, background doesn't mean background is in character background. It means like what is the literal scenery that is being used. What are the costumes and what's the significance of the costumes? Again, scene by scene. If there are not 6 scenes, that's fine. If it's just one scene, that's fine. But if they have any sort of transitions, they need to fill that in. Are there any important props? For example, are they holding a guitar? Why are they holding a guitar? Are they holding a rake? Why are they holding a rake? Is there any significance to that? So all of that information should go on that companion document. Again, it's an extra step. I get that. But it's going to help our judges to make sure that the students are prepared at the next level. And if they get the History Day competition at the national level, this is information that's going to be required as well. Okay, so we have our performance stuff. Let me show you here's our companion worksheet for, that's performance. Guidelines for the exhibits. We're going to be making a virtual exhibit as well. This document is going to be really helpful because it has a bunch of links in it. When you open the links, it's going to take you to some examples. I'm not going to show you the examples. I'm going to show you a completed example, but not the template. So we know what the historical arguments are. I'm assuming that with only a month before the end of registration, most students have made a physical exhibit. So I'm going to assume that we mostly have physical constructions of an exhibit that they're going to have to take pictures of. So what I'd like you to do, they can do a virtual exhibit as well. But if we have the physical exhibit, they're going to do all the paperwork. They're going to combine the title page, the annotated bibliography, and the process paper with a Google slide or a PowerPoint. And the link for that template is right here. And you can see an example here. Take all that paperwork and you can use either small PDF or I Love PDF. I believe last year I Love PDF was able to get through the Horry County Schools web blocker. And it should look something like this. So using that, this is about halfway through. We have all of the paperwork and documentation on the top. And then we have the physical project here. Now I do ask that when you make this PowerPoint, I do need to have an overview, like one picture showing the whole thing. This is a relatively small exhibit. Most of our exhibits get bigger, 6 feet or so it's not easy to read the information. So in every project, what we're also going to have is a left panel top photo. And then below that, the students need to kind of transcribe the information that's on there. So that information is also this information, just to make it easier for the judges to read. Like I tell the students, we have reasonably intelligent adults, but sometimes they can't find the information. If they can't find the information, they can't score the information. So here's middle page, the left panel center, and the text, left panel bottom, and the text, center panel top, the text, center panel photo. Okay, you can get the idea, and in the companion folder, you'll have all this information in there as well. So again, register for the competition. We're going to upload all of the files into the Z-Fairs competition registration center. When you register, it's going to be a virtual competition now. Use the virtual competition guidelines in order to complete it appropriately. The only 2 categories that I'm nervous about are performances and the exhibit. If the students have not made a physical exhibit yet, there is a digital option. You can take a look at that and see it on the in that companion document. If you have any questions, that's what I'm here for. We will have the registration end on, this is last year's date. It's going to end February 25th. And on the 26th, the judges will get these documents so that they will be evaluated by March 11th. On March 11th, I am going to announce the winners virtually again, similar to what we did last year. probably through either a Facebook Live or a recording that I'll send out. I know this isn't an ideal situation. I was looking forward to being back in person. Unfortunately, that's just not going to be an opportunity that we're going to have this year. So the good news is you don't have as much field trip planning to do, I guess. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, folks.